What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cork to Glory. This is episode number 31. And we start today's episode off hosting Coventry City as the Sky Blues will come and take us on. Of course, they're our first opponents of the season away at the Rico Arena in the Championship season opener. Of course, we lost the game by a goal to nil. That was a sort of a sign of things to come, or so I thought. But on the back of a 5-0 thrashing of Blackburn Rovers in the very last game in the last episode at Ewood Park, there's a good chance that we could still make the playoffs right now, being 8 points behind Bristol City and Stoke as we push for the playoffs in the penultimate episode of Season 3. Heading into the game though, we knew we'd be without 3 of our star players. Eamon Cunningham, who's been on absolute flames lately, 5 goals in 4 games. Our playmaker was away on international duty, as was our starting goalkeeper Gavin Bazunu, and also the captain Rory Keenan as well. So 3 of our star players missing for a massive game, and I was thinking, come on guys, are you really going to go on international duty now? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love seeing my youth players get called up for the international games, but forget the qualifiers with Ireland, man. We're going for the playoffs. So we fell behind early on into the game, but we did respond. 2 goals in 5 minutes for Samuel Belbel, and really, without his right-hand man, Eamon Cunningham, the Cameroonian had to do everything himself in this game, man, seriously, because there was going to be very little attacking support for him. As we know, the 2 wingers we've got, Elliott and Healy, I know they both had stormers in the last game against Blackburn, but they're not really that good for us. However, we were leading by a goal, courtesy of Belbel's brace in the first half, so just dissed him a little bit there. Ethan Elliott gets his 2nd goal in 2 games as the potential Ryan Giggs regen gets our 3rd goal and wraps points. Well, he wouldn't be a regen because we scout him, but either way, Ryan Giggs is, I don't know, modelled player, if you will, makes it Cork City 3, Coventry 1, back-to-back victories. And as you can see, after Stoke City's loss, 6 games to go in the Championship as we close out March, it's getting real now. There's only 5 points separating us from Stoke City. Yes, there is a genuine chance we could make the playoffs after all at the end of our first season in the Championship. I said at the very start of the season there was a chance. There was an outside chance of it happening, but it was very unlikely. It was like a 5 to 10% chance at best. Because look, I always back myself, I always back myself. I know I downplay my chances at the start of the season for how well our season's going to go. It's mainly just because it means if I underperform, I can just fall back on that and just say, well, we only expected to finish in 16th place anyway. But, the fact of the matter is I always back myself, man. I know that with the team being so young, they're always going to be growing month by month as well. So we're developing as a squad and getting better as the season goes by. I definitely felt there was a chance, but the pressure is on now. Whilst we still are the outsiders, there is a chance, and let's see if we can go ahead and do it. So, yeah, briefly the scouting and academy update as well. This guy, oh my goodness, Luke Byrne. I don't want to jinx it, because I've jinxed a few things already, but 90 to 94 potential, 57 rated 16-year-old central midfielder. Now, I'll be honest here, I have to say, looking at his stats, and I know you guys are going to be sitting there thinking, no, please don't do this, because I know you guys all love the Shark, as do I. We love Barry Sharkey, first youth player to come through the academy, and I'm not against possibly changing the captaincy next year and giving it to him. But anyway, we'll discuss that at a later date. But for Byrne there, you saw him with the stats he's got. I think he could be a left back. I really do. Just look at our 5 fixtures coming in April. 5 of the final 6 coming this month. Starting off with a trip to Hillsborough to take on Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, I think Byrne could be a left back. CM, definitely. Holding mid? Well, that's what we play with right now with Keenan Devine being holding mids. I don't know. But I think he could be a left back. I'd hate to retrain him there though and take out Barry Shark as a starter, because we love the Shark and now he's got the showing great potential tag. That's awesome to see. But I guess we just have to wait and see. I'll think of the plans as the months go by, I suppose, and eventually when we promote him as well. Regardless, on the back of back-to-back victories and 7 points in our last possible 9 from our final 3 games. What a frustrating loss away at Hillsborough against Sheffield Wednesday. But it really was just to be expected, really. I mean, this has been every single episode, like my common phrase, we just can't win in England. Like, we just cannot win in England. And I know we beat Blackburn Rovers 5-0 in one of the best and biggest wins of this series in the very last episode. But I don't know what it is. And I know I said it before, but it just feels like the AI are just so much better when I'm away from home. And I know it's purely a psychological thing, but I just can't get over this bloody hurdle every single time. I know I don't have to apologise for profanity there, but every single time I play in England, it just gets on my nerves because I dread going into the games. Like, I literally dread dread playing the match because I just think I'm not going to win this game, man. I'm going to slip up, and I did there again away at Sheffield Wednesday. Massive loss as we pushed for the playoffs, but had a big defeat there. But for our third game of today's episode, Watford here at home, taking on the Hornets here, looking to bounce back with a win at Turner's Cross. And again, when we're away from home, you always think the best we can do is a draw. But when we're at home, regardless of who we face, you expect us to get the win, and we did in this one as well. Samuel Bell continuing his pursuit of the golden boot. And a young man that's come into form recently, Ethan Elliott, again, another goal for it. I think that's 3 goals in 4 games for the Welsh winger there. So 2-0 Cork City, and again, Elliott right now is having a great close out to the end of his first full season in a Cork City shirt. So for the following game of today's episode here, our former career mode team, Queen's Park Rangers, come in to Turner's Cross below us in the table, feeling pretty confident of back-to-back victories here and a big win to keep the pressure on the teams in the playoffs right now. But despite having the early chances in the game, 31 minutes into the match, where there's no Charles Bull in this QPR team, but there is still the player that we had a big affiliation to whilst we were there. Ilias Sher, who was our player of the season in our PS5 career mode in Season 1, scores the first goal as the Moroccan chips Gavin Bazunu and gives QPR the leveller. 66 minutes into the game, it's another goal for our number 15, Ethan Elliott, right now, just on absolute fire as he gets us back on level terms. And yes, I know it was a cutback goal, but I'm sorry guys, I was pushing for the playoffs. I really wanted to stay in the race for a top 6 place, so I had to be sweaty and get that goal from the cutback there. So 1-1. Elliott with a simple goal, but another one for the Welshman as he gets us back on level terms with 2.5 minutes to go. He's been amongst the goals of late, but none since he went away on international duty. Eamon Cunningham has come back, really slowed down in his form for goals and assists. He had the chance to win us the game. I put the shot wide, and what a disappointing slip up. 1 point picked up from 6, and that means with 3 games to go, it's not over just yet, but we're 8 points off Stoke in 5th, and we're 7 off Bristol City in that 6th and final playoff spot. Yep, 7 points being the gap, and that means if we are to make the playoffs now on the back of back-to-back games without a win, we need to win all 3 of our remaining games, and Bristol City need to lose all 3, including this one here at Ashton Gate. For our final game of today's episode and our penultimate one of April, final away day of the season, Bristol City away, looking to cement a playoff place and end our hopes, which they could do so of a win in this game with just 9 minutes in. Cooley Woodrow gives the Robins the lead. It's 1-0 Bristol City, and I was thinking, okay, it's over. There's no way we're coming back from this, man. We just can't win in England. We always seem to lose. Game over. We ain't getting back from this. Playoffs are over. That's my defeatist mind, but the players weren't going to give up, though. 37 minutes into the game, Samuel Bell, some absolutely fantastic footwork there after a wonderful ball over the top by Cunningham. Bell does all the hard work, though. Beats his man on 2 separate occasions and drills it in and says, Gaffer, stop being such a bloody pessimist. It's not over yet. Bristol City 1, Cork City 1, back in the game. And right before the break, the man that's been on fire lately, Ethan Elliott, denied by Daniel Bentley. What a great run, but what a great save. It was still 1-1. So we closed out the first half really well. We found our leveller. We were looking on top, but in the second half, so I was pushing for a goal to get in front. I was forcing a lot of bodies forward. I was playing a lot more attack-minded football because I knew that a draw wouldn't be enough. Draw the game and it's all over. Mathematically, with 2 games to go, we would not have a chance of making the playoffs. Bristol City took advantage of that. We were pushed up. We were playing a really high defensive line. They found a goal to get back in front and make it 2-1. And 6.5 minutes to go. Cooley Woodrow, glorious footwork there to take it around Jamie Bowden, who, to be fair, I surrendered possession with very cheaply right on the edge of our area, and he gets his 2nd goal of the game. Bristol City 3, Cork City 1. And that was it. It was all over. We weren't going to come back from that. We did have a late chance in stoppage time to get ourselves a glimmer of hope, and if nothing else, a 2nd goal and a consolation. But really, I think this has sort of summed up our season away from home. Samuel Bell, top scorer, running 1-on-1 through Daniel Bentley, tried to round a goalkeeper and pop it into the open goal. The goal was gaping. There was a little bit of pressure from Bentley, but somehow I managed to put the ball wide with our top scorer with over 20 goals this season. That, to me, sums up the season right there. Final away day, had to win, lose it by 3 goals to 1. That confirms it now. We cannot make the playoffs with 2 games to go, and somehow miss with the goal gaping from just a few yards out. Again, I know it's a psychological thing. Don't think I'm making excuses for my terrible finishing and my poor form away from home. I know it's a psychological thing, but it just feels like we're at a disadvantage whenever we play away from home. Regardless, all that's left to do now is try and finish in the top 10 and close out what will still be a decent first season in the Championship, with 2 games to go. Brighton and Preston both at home, as we aim to cement a top 10 finish, which I'd still call a successful first season in the Championship in the season finale. Once this is a Court to Glory, guys, big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the season finale with the final 2 games of the Championship season very soon.